We join Iris in her office as she paces from one corner to the other. On the other side of the office, sitting on the couch, is Jack, holding one of the recent tomes he's been looking into. Next to which are Gabriel and Abel, murmuring about recent events. Eventually, the window shuts with a loud clack as Olivia makes her presence known. Alright, I did some scouting. I don't think most of the population in that area is aware of it, but I contacted Victoria and the creature is starting to become a problem.
I see. Well, I didn't have time to let you know last night, but I did some melange on the creature, and it's a wolf from the pack, just like said by Jasper. But from what I understood, they thought that whatever they did would have killed it. They didn't know that it would survive the. They didn't expect it to survive the house collapsing.
How exactly are we supposed to deal with that?
Well, from little what I know, that creature is, a blasphemy in the eyes of the wolves, and from what I divined, they did try to get rid of it. Unsuccessfully. I suppose we could let them know where it is, and that it's still alive.
And we sure that's gonna play off?
What do you mean?
That werewolf's gonna fix this shit?
Well, the werewolves are definitely capable of following it or trapping it.
That is true. I'm not denying that. It's more of a question if they're still gonna give a fuck.
Do they have
could
something
draw-
that's like the silence of the blood? Because if so, they should care. If not, it's up to us.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
There's also something else to consider. The wolves don't really distinguish between all of us. To them, Cainites are Cainites. We tell them the creature's still alive, they'll hunt it down. If they figure out who lives in the area the creature lives in, this might not be the easiest solution on Victoria.
That is fair. Yet...
It depends how vengeful the things are.
Well, the question is, how are we meant to? We saw how it hunted. It jumped out, and then jumped back in wherever it was.
I assume that these werewolves would be capable of following it wherever it went.
You've seen how the other ones could pop out. Essentially, what do we know anything about traversal between realms? Are there any conditions?
My studies are quite limited on this, but I believe what we can access is not quite the same what they can access.
By the way, Miguel, would I have learned from the melange that it's I would have learned that it's a...
You would have learned that there are indications that it might be something like that, but it's really difficult to know for sure.
Another thing. No, I meant like that it's an abomination.
Yeah, it's really difficult to know for sure, because you've only heard legends of it, but... I mean, even if you research it, a lot of the time when this is attempted, it kills the subject.
Another thing. Now, I'm not certain about it, but it's certainly... But there's indications, although quite unlikely, but it seems that the creature might be, it might have been turned into... The werewolf might have been turned, embraced successfully.
That's possible?
It's rare, but
Pure theory, it's possible.
Can't we just lure it out somewhere? Ambush it.
Shoot it with fire? Nothing survives fire.
well, if it's a vampire, then it's definitely going to be more, well, not vampire, I guess. The problem is that it does seem to stay specifically hidden.
When we tracked it down, maybe were there any indications that it lives on this plane?
What do you mean? Miguel, Iris would have spent time in the, like, observing. Did she have any,
Well,
you know...
int investigation might be a good way of getting to that answer.
All right.
Just hiding the ST screen for a moment, because I have to check something.
Three successes.
Right? With 3 successes, you've seen that the creature has a designated lair, or at least an area where there's a lot of signs that, you know, it at least dumps the remains of whatever it captures there. There were a lot of ashes, a lot of bones. It has an area where it must spend some time.
Mm-hmm.
What that means for potential avenues of ambush, hard to say. You don't know if it sleeps there, you don't know if it goes there ritualistically. Hard to say.
Okay. Oh, Harry says it's difficult to say. My observation of the creature has not revealed any such places.
The good old blind violence.
Well, on the other hand, it's a leap. It's a leap. By the way, since I spent some time observing it, has it always appeared from the water?
When you manage to see it,
Yeah.
it always jumps out of the water. Yeah.
Well, the several times that I've managed to observe it, it has always jumped out from the water. Now, originally, I assumed it might have been. It might have been, a regular. Werewolf. But now that if I guess Bohdan succeeded in embracing it, then quite possible that it cannot do the same way jumps as the other wolves. So potentially, the water is just like Jasper needs water to open a portal, it needs water as well, or as a reflective surface.
I'm not sure sewer water is that reflective.
Still water is.
There's also a question of what else can it do?
That is...
Oh. Simplest presumption is 50% werewolf, 50% vampire.
But what does that mean? Supernaturally speaking.
Well, we do have a number of a person
Actually,
who might.
yes. Call him.
Yep. Let's bother Beckett, kids. Our favorite pastime in this game.
Alright. Who's making the call? And with which device?
Jack is the one who has the phone, so.
Alright. So you dial the number. You call.
And I'm gonna be an ass and use Auspex to listen to the call.
I assume everybody
It's
is
gonna be
doing
on
that.
loud.
I assume
Oh,
everyone's
okay.
doing that, regardless.
Yeah.
Because everyone
I
wants
mean,
a
look,
fucking. Everyone wants the tea.
Look, in real life, my elbows fucking hate when I hold the phone to my ear, so it's gonna be on loud, okay?
Listen. Iris doesn't even need to turn on Auspex anymore to listen to the fucking phone calls.
She wish she could
Yeah.
turn it off at this point.
Yes.
So you dial the number, and it rings. Quite a while. And then you hear the ringing click to a stop. And a voice can be heard from the other side. Yes, what is it this time?
It's still werewolves. This time, potentially embraced werewolves.
There is quite a prolonged silence. Jack? Actually, everyone's listening, right? With sympathy, please. Difficulty
Does
is going to be
emotions
quite
apply?
high. Yes. Difficulty is going to be quite high.
Can't.
Insight.
Yeah.
Say wits empathy.
Yes.
Pelesse. That might be a one.
Wait, I need to roll one more because I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
I got 1 9 and 1 7.
Same.
Right. I believe. There you go. Alright, so. Abel's the only one who doesn't notice. But. So both. Gabriel and Iris notice that in the hesitation, given what you've seen from Beckett before, this type of hesitation would usually be replaced with some form of smarmy quip or some type of jokey, witty banter, if it was something that surprised him. And surprise being the extent of it. There's something else to this. Jack, given that you have more interaction with him and you got more successes, obviously, the guy... Oh. Okay. My bad then. Oh, okay, so you didn't spend willpower. That was just for willpower regen. Got it. Okay, so, Jack, you notice the same thing, right? This type of long pause from Beckett is quite uncharacteristic, even when he is surprised by some information. That said, you know damn well that sometimes Beckett doesn't want to share information.
Mm-hmm.
That coupled with the surprise, it must be what's quieting him down for such a long time. And after this prolonged silence, he says, "You're doing
No.
good.
Our problem, though.
Everyone's problem."
So, I assume you know at least some they can do. Whatever
I've
the official
dabbled-
name for the combo.
I've dabbled on the topic.
So
What do you
according
want to know?
according to the intel, motherfucker can jump into the water and not be detected anymore.
Not be within this world, Iris
Yeah.
interjects.
Ah, this call is on speaker. I see.
It's not like they would
Hello,
hear you
Beck.
anyway.
Who is present, if I may ask?
The Pax.
Any members I might have to be careful around?
No. No.
Okay. Well, there's plenty to know about these things. The primary concern, however, is whatever decision you make, you should be quick about it.
Well, so the thing is, well, from the observation that I've been doing remotely, it only jumps from a liquid, which is something very familiar for like another of our pack members, since that's his
Reflective
limitation.
surfaces, yes.
Yes.
It works very... the methodology is very similar.
Yes, but essentially, I haven't seen it jump into another layer, Umbra or Shadowlands, like the other wolf, which is anywhere really. We do know that apparently it was a werewolf from one of the local packs. The ones in the Griffiths Park, and it got out because they decided to get somebody to demolish the building where it was held, but it didn't die. And considering that they mourned the wolf, I don't think they're aware of its current state.
Could be a blessing,
Now-
could be a curse.
Well, problem is it's on victorious turf, meaning bringing in them could have problems. And I suppose we don't need to assume whether it needs a reflective surface to jump or not. I could always divine it. But I suppose the question would be, well, A, what do you call a werewolf that's been embraced? And B, do they get some extra new powers? Do they have now weaknesses of both?
They don't really have a name, to answer your first question. However, most people refer to them by... honestly, what you'd expect them to refer to it by.
An abomination? Iris just...
Spot on. Though they don't necessarily have a name other than that. They're rare enough that names are not a luxury they have attained.
Right. So would I assume that these abominations have the standard vampire weakness of fire?
And silver.
Well, I can provide plenty fire. And without having to approach it anywhere near either.
That might be trickier than you might think.
Why is that?
Well, it's already surprised you with what it can do. Wouldn't be that odd that it would surprise you when you try to... What were you going to try and do? Blow it up? Incinerate it?
No. I was planning to use my Khaldun magic.
I'm not well versed in that specific form of magic,
Imagine
but
if I would.
I would urge you to consider that a simple solution should never be the only solution you have prepared.
Knowing that Beckett cannot see her, right? Iris just rolls her eyes as if, like, you know, like her face is like just like thank you, Captain Obvious. Have you ever seen any abominations?
Only. Well, not many. I would leave it at that.
And have you seen them in what they can do or anything?
I have not seen many, and I will leave it at that.
I see. Very well. What
If-
about the other? What about the werewolves? What's I assume, given their dislike of our kind, is that somebody of their kind becoming an abomination is, well, a blasphemy?
To put it mildly, how would you feel if one of your childer were to suddenly become, well, a changeling and defy every teaching you ever worked tirelessly to indoctrinate them?
Ironically enough, if they were to become a changeling, I would congratulate them on achieving Ajidahaka. I think the allegory you were going for, how would I feel if any of my children decided to join Tal Mahara?
See, that would be a choice. These poor creatures often don't get that luxury. Speaking of which,
That is...
are you aware of who the sire is?
Well, given the fact that we know whose basement it was, we assume that it was an old world Zigiza who embraced who's dead now.
May I know the name?
Iris looks to Olivia.
Olivia just looks to you and shakes their head.
As a no?
As a no.
Sadly, that is classified. Why?
Well, often, that usually determines quite a few things about the subject, namely, what they can actually do.
See? As in what kind of abilities they have as an abomination.
Indeed. Think of them somewhat like thin bloods. They don't have access to as thorough of a mastery as we are able to achieve, but they also don't have as many of our glaring weaknesses or burdens. Well, for this creature, it still has burdens, of course, but it retains a lot of its former self, as I'm sure you would know if you've seen it already.
I've seen it from a distance.
You would also have to take into consideration what its, well, who its sire was, or more accurately, how close their sire was to Cain.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Not as close as I.
Should not be a problem then.
Very well. I suppose you've given us useful information. As for whether the reflective surface is a must, I suppose I could just simply divine.
Or I could simply
The
tell
answer
you
to-
that yes, it is.
So, do you mean that an abomination can no longer shift between realms like the normal wolves?
As hard as they may try, they cannot.
I see. Well, that's useful. Because
Only
it
I
does
would
mean
urge you to hurry in dealing with the threat.
we have no other choice. Although it's
What?
not in our territory, it's not in my territory, it's still Sabbat territory. And it's becoming a problem.
See, that does not quite impose the urgency that I wish.
What happens
it
if we
did.
don't? What happens if we take longer?
Well, our mutual enemy has a tendency to recruit these things.
I see. Well, there goes my plan to lure Kian in so that it eats Kian. Sad.
Does he happen to know of the creature already?
No.
Good.
At least I don't.
I would keep it that way. Otherwise, you might have a bigger problem to deal with.
Understood.
I would also advise
if
that
I were to let the pack know that their friend is still undead,
And what are
Would
you
they-
advising us?
would they take care of it?
most likely they would also become, most likely, irrationally vengeful. Not that they're exactly calm right now.
Understood.
I'd also
Very well.
advise some caution when it comes to its habits. See, very often these creatures don't understand what they are as much as they understand what they were and what they lost. Remember, they were raised to believe we are abominations instead of mysteries of the universe. As such, self-hatred can transform into vengeance, and vengeance often leads to mistakes. As I'm sure you might be aware, impulses of our kind lead us to find Vitae quite irresistible. And a creature like that has no checks and balances.
It is
Doesn't matter.
probably very hungry.
And if it is not, it is probably in possession of many, more tools than you are. Because I would wager it does not stop itself at only feeding, if you understand my meaning.
Actually, I as a player do not. Desires.
Diablerie.
Forbidden nom nom nom.
Yes. It will start diablerizing like a motherfucker, and it will have access to everything that it diablerizes.
What happens if we diablerize it?
Well, that would be something, wouldn't it? Be sure to tell me if you try. And if you survive.
Well, most importantly, what I found out is that it's just like us. It's not going to like fire, a pillar of fire erupting underneath it.
It will also not appreciate having to pull silver out of its skin. Keep that in mind.
Yes, but to pull silver out of its skin, we have to actually move close to it. While if I use my magic, I don't even need to be where it lives.
Very true. I'll leave the details of how you deal with it to you, though I would wager you'll heed my advice when it comes to the timing of the situation.
Oh, we will. Do not worry. We're going to be dealing with it as soon as possible, since we're pretty much hunting every poor little Nosferatu that's coming across. It's a reflective service in the sewers.
In that case, I would be careful. It might be harder to spot than you might think.
Well, it does like food, and we can provide it.
Good luck, and be sure it doesn't stay after your encounter.
All right. Good night.
Good evening to you all.
Well, that was informative.
He is a person to talk to.
Well, now we have let me draw a card to confirm things. I would like to draw 2 cards.
Okay.
Basically, one card is it an abomination, and the other one does. Although Beckett said it requires reflective surfaces, I still want to confirm. And I'm just gonna put it down into one simple roll instead of perception awareness and intelligence occult into perception occult. Okay. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6 successes.
Yeah, so you get 6 cards you can draw.
All right, so.
Or less if you want a more
is
conclusive answer, basically.
Oh, let's do 3 cards then. First, is it an abomination?
Most likely, yes.
Second card, does it need the reflective surfaces?
Indeed it does.
Okay, now, well, the final one. What should I ask? I guess, assuming I remove this reflective surface, would I be able to deal enough fire damage to it remotely to kill it?
Hard to answer that. Can you make it a simpler question?
Oh, fine. Can I deal enough fire damage to kill it?
Potentially.
Okay.
I mean, the answer to that question would always be yes, if it's not immune to fire. Because we didn't factor into the question how long it would take.
What do you mean?
I can kill someone by, holding a candle up to their skin. It's just gonna take very, very long.
No, the questions that I asked specifically was, like the fire through the flame column thing I can summon, right?
Can you deal enough fire damage to kill it? Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Can you do it quickly?
Okay.
That's a different thing.
It doesn't matter if I'm far enough from it, though.
True.
Because if I'm far enough from it, and basically if I take care of the, if I take care of the reflective surface, then it wouldn't be able to, to essentially
Yeah, it wouldn't be
get
able to
out,
hop away.
and then
Very true.
so yeah. Now, how to get rid of the water quick enough? That is a question.
Liquid nitrogen.
And where are you gonna get one?
It's publicly available. Gonna take a minute, but doable.
I mean, we could just buy it.
Yeah.
There are science
Do
places
you
that
realize that to place down that thing over there, you'd have to physically be present?
Also true. But you were asking for a way to remove so much water, not for a good way to do that.
I suppose an experiment is in order. After all, it is the sewers, so it's not that much fire. It's not that much water. It's not a lake. And the question is just how, if there is enough intense fire in a specific location, the water will evaporate.
no reflective surface. That removes
Nice.
one obstacle.
And it's straight up also applies fire.
Well, given you don't give a fuck how much energy you're gonna spend, that's still a lot of energy. And, water is not going anywhere, it's gonna be steam.
We need to go somewhere. Given the fact that I am quite often in the, I have my eyes in the sewers and whatnot everywhere, right? Do I know I'd essentially would. So remember the places where it was hunting and stuff? What I'd like to try is essentially find some sewers, preferably remote, because, we don't want any, how to say, accidents, etc. Somewhere where I could basically test out how much, would I be able to essentially kill two birds with one, stone, so to say.
How so? Like evaporating the water and setting him on fire at the same time?
Yeah. Because the reflective surface that's used in the sewers, right? It's not deep. It's not, it's not a large amount of water, right?
Oh, it depends where you are. But in sewer tunnels in general, no.
Exactly. We don't want it to go out, because in the sewer tunnels, essentially it's another option would be actually I am.
Is there a way that we could temporarily get the humans to evacuate just in case?
I doubt it.
Call in a gas leak?
The difference between there is a way and there's a feasible way.
Well,
we could also use explosives. Set up a trap, lure it into the bombs.
What I was thinking of is either, well, consider who would have the werewolf been hunting all this time.
The Nosferatu?
Exactly. That is who would have been there. It's feeding.
I think at this point, Aliva might interject and say, well, most of its diet has been Nosferatu.
Well,
I did mention it had started to become a problem in Victoria's domain.
Yes, well, I was
Very
thinking...
diverse diet.
Should we talk to Victoria?
Olivia did.
Briefly. And not recently.
Well, have you considered this? Let's say it is possible for me to evaporate some amount of water, right? But the sewers are long and it could run away. Considering that it's hunting in the sewers, most of its diet would have been exactly the Nosferatu. So, what if we were to, to get the Nosferatu to help? Because if it was possible for us to, divert the water, well, to be fair, I don't think I would need the Nosferatu for it. Technically, I could use my way of the earth to create obstructions for the water flow in specific areas, and then make it so that there's an area in the sewers where there is some reflective surfaces, but around it there is none.
Miguel, here is a reminder.
That's...
How much obfuscate do you think it has?
I don't... Alexa, stop. The obfuscate doesn't matter for my sight. I can see past it just fine. Why did you ask about obfuscate?
Because it
I
would be a problem for me.
I don't think that this creature, is very selective about his diet. I mean,
Oh yes, whatever.
anybody will need to lure him out, right?
Yeah, that is true. That is.
Should we not
Suicidal as
contact
shit, but-
Victoria more currently with the current events to work with her as well?
How will she help us?
How high do you think it can jump?
No idea.
I would
But
guess very.
I would prefer to keep it in the sewers. I would prefer to burn it to crisp in the sewers. I don't need to go down into the sewers to do it. The main problem is that in the sewers there is water. And the problem is that we want the water either diverted, blocked, and present only in an area where I will send the bait.
Maybe we should pull up the sewer plans then and see how we can divert the water.
Well, I look to Gabriel. Shall you do your magic? I mean, computer hacking.
Oh, yes, I was going to say, you know very well that I can't use magic.
Gabriel, at this point, you hear in the back of your mind, Persephone. If you want, I can get you that information.
Yes, that would do nicely.
And let me make a quick roll.
That always ends well.
Gabriel, you are now 100% aware of every publicly available sewer plan in the East LA area.
Okay, so I pulled that up. I have the sewer plans, a complete map of the sewer system that's on file. He will even print them out.
Well, you can't really print them out. You became aware of it in your head.
Okay. Oh, well, I know the sewer plans, and I suppose all it would take is you looking into my mind to also know them. So, who's first? He smiles.
Let Jack do that. He has eidetic memory.
As do I.
Okay, well then I guess.
Bring Jasper here and it's gonna be 50-50.
I suppose then I'm gonna have a look.
Alright.
So,
At this point, I'm fine at rolling for both telepathy and still the mind. Which one's gonna be less traumatic for me?
Do telepathy. You have eidetic
Yeah.
memory.
True.
I mean,
Yeah, one is like looking around, and the other one is just looking at
Also,
a
by
bunch
the
of data
way,
and remembering.
last time
Yeah, telepathy is gonna be safer.
Last time you used it, and mind you, when you do steal the mind, the person from whom you took it does not retain that information.
Yes, I know.
No, don't do that.
I mean,
Yeah, let's do telepathy.
yeah, I won't have you roll because there's no resisting.
I don't. I let you in my head. I do not fight.
Yeah, so
All right. After Jack's out, I'm also going to like
Mhm.
get the
Um,
maps.
And
Yeah,
I'm gonna do the
it's-
fucking math on this bitch.
it's a lot of information, but you now have it. You know.
Yeah.
And I assume you'd share as much as possible with Abel as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if taking the
While
information
since-
and depositing the information, you can do it using the same methodology. So
well, after Jack has gotten it, I'm gonna tell him, start looking. Basically, first of all, do these maps have what actually useful, as in like how the water flows, direction,
Yes.
etc. Okay, so I'm going to be looking in the area for like since it's a wolf, mind you, it is technically, it's not that old, but then again, we don't know that much about it. So what I would be doing is essentially seeing how much of an area I could possibly block the water flow off in a way so that some little bit retains some water. Like basically what I'm thinking of is that I'd have a few tunnels, like basically use Way of Earth to block the water flow, since that will be easiest thing to do. But basically, I'll pick first like an ambush area for it, somewhere in the middle of a whole like tunnel like area that would be drained. Within that area, there would be some reflective surface left, right?
I mean, there will always be, because if there's any splashing whatsoever, there's gonna be puddles as well. I mean, even when you drain away all the water, you have to wait for whatever's left to like dry out completely, or at least enough that the space you can jump
Yeah, but
through
like it
is not.
can't
Yeah,
go
it
through
can't. It
this
can't
much
go
of
through
water.
this much. But if there's like a large puddle,
Yeah.
which if you
Human-sized
have
puddle.
yeah, if you have like a stream of water and you drain that,
Yeah.
now you have a stream of very wet surface that can have puddles in it. So
Yeah.
you basically would have to wait a while for that to dry. But it's doable.
Well, I was thinking again, like, Way of Earth to block it off. Block off first, like, the one area from which we wanted to jump, right? Way of Earth to basically block off the, like, any new incoming water. And then, like, minor, like, application of the Way of Earth to basically make it so that the water seeps in, breaks the soil. Because essentially, Iris doesn't want anyone to go down there. Going down there, while there's reflective surfaces, like going down there is like, I don't know, going to go have a fucking fist fight against a person armed with an AK-47, right? It's bad, it's risky, right? Normal werewolves are a fucking problem. This is a vampire werewolf, right? So what Iris would prefer to have is that essentially there'd be a large enough area where there's no way for it to jump onto the other side, right? Where she's basically able to just like over and over continuously like nuke it with fire over and over again, right? And while on the end of that area, right? Maybe there, but even then it's like, how do we get there without being next to a reflective surface or anybody else? Like, there could be somebody with like silver guns and bullets just in case, right? Because, yeah, like, Also, actually, how close would it be to the surface? Like where it hunts? And like, would it be possible to make like make so to say like a pathway for it to get, closer to up?
So the thing about sewer tunnels, right, is that the sewer tunnels you're thinking of, the ones that have a stream down the middle and paths that people use on the sides, what would actually be a good hunting ground, because that's what most Nosferatu, etc., that's what most of them would use. Those areas have very, very frequent access to manholes. If you've ever like gone down like a highway, you see a bunch of manholes in a row. All of those lead to like sewer tunnels that you can, it usually doesn't take very long walking for you to reach what you need to reach, because sewer workers can't be down there for very long periods of time just venturing through the fucking tunnels to fix one problem in the ass end of nowhere. So
Also, it's not a shit down there.
So
Okay, well,
getting him close to an exit wouldn't be a problem if you're ambushing him at one of his hunting spots.
okay. So
And
here's
for the drawing him there, do we just need to, in advance, bleed ourselves into a jar and then throw it in the ground and like pour it out?
Iris looks to Gabriel was like, no, I'll just make a shovel head, and I'll be able to direct it where it needs to go. Well, maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't embrace.
Regardless, somebody's gonna make a shovel head. That's not the difficult part.
Well, no, we don't want it to, let's say, diablerize the shovel head and lower their generation, but we do
true.
have that wall creature. They're low generation enough.
Which creature? Ah, wall creature. We have plenty of Sabbat members in the main to make a shovel head. That's like
That's true.
easy part.
Yes.
I still believe it's not gonna be a bad idea to douse the surface with liquid nitrogen.
You're gonna, and who is going to, okay, think about it this way.
I can turn into a fucking shadow.
And can you carry the nitrogen with you?
That is a good question.
Listen, I am perfectly capable of collapsing the walls within the thing. Or rather having the earth spirits do that. Now, Miguel, the creature's hunting grounds, right? Are there any remote areas within reach? Like, as in, like, where the manholes are and so on? Somewhere, basically, is there somewhere where, if it were to go up, we are able to, it's not going to be a horrible problem for us?
Hard to say. There are spots like that, but the trouble would be getting it to come out of that specific exit, because these exits are like, it takes you like, if you're running like not sprinting but just running, it takes you about like 30 to 40 seconds between each one. You can imagine if you're attacking a creature who's twice our size, who can run on all fours much faster than we can, reaching one of those exits, it's less predictable what he's gonna go for.
Actually, I have the I have a better question. Other gas lines.
Well, given the fact that you're talking about the whole of East LA, yes. Specifically where he hunts? Some places, yeah.
Alright. Can those be used?
Potentially, depends what you want to use them for. I expect it would involve explosions.
I have combust, so easy peasy. So, my idea would be is that collapsing some tunnels to block it off from going somewhere we don't want it to go, using the gas pipes in some other areas to block off it from going also in a direction that we want, and essentially to make it so that it only has one or two paths to follow. And in that path, that would be the path where there would be no more water left for it to jump away. Where it would arrive out from the ground, it would be remote enough from the humans for us to deal with it, and where there's no water near it again.
I mean, you could probably find a spot like that in East LA, yeah.
And another like thing which could be potentially done, with the manholes, right? I'm fairly certain that getting something like a small gas tank, like in a kitchen, right? Like the one we have, is not a problem. People use them for stoves. Some areas, which again we don't want it to go to, we could, near those manholes, we could put those, like stove those canisters specifically, attach them like close to the manhole lid or something.
Yeah, you could. I won't say if it's a good idea or not, but you could.
Because again, those same canisters, Iris can explode remotely.
I mean, if you want some actual, like, thoughts on most of your ideas up till now.
I mean, I don't have a map, so I don't know. I'm just literally
You guys
talking
do have a map.
No.
You have the knowledge of the
Like-
entire sewers.
Physically in the hands.
Oh.
Yeah, physically.
Well, look, the area's big enough that whatever situation you can think of, there's probably something like that around. Okay? So it's possible that you can just store a bunch of, these gas canisters. Even if you don't want to do it, like, outside where it's visible, you can totally just, put, like, a metal hook on it and just perch it on the ladder in the manhole. It's on the inside. No one sees it. Unless a worker goes down there. So, stuff like this can obviously be done. How you go about doing that that's a different story. Depends how, like, what care you take when you do it.
Hmm. Right. Anyone else? By the way, I remember that you went and started making the silver bullets. How's that?
Who exactly? Who exactly are you talking to?
You guys, Abel,
Ah.
Jack, you guys went and like.
If some of you actually, went about it, you had a whole week, so you can just consider that done.
My relationship with Silver is not the best, but I mean,
I have my contacts, so I probably could have done that.
Yeah. So you can consider it done, basically.
All right, so we have bullets, and that would be something you can use on the top. Miguel, I answered.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I got the answer. I just wanted to see if it reached a specific spot. And it does not. So,
Well, anyone? Suggestions?
we have bullets.
Yes. What
We
about
have a plan that's, I guess, as good as any.
Well, this will be a lot of by the way, how much noise will that be in Victoria's domain?
what, an explosion?
Our plans. Yeah.
Well, if there's just a fight in the sewers, not much. If you set something on fire in the sewers, it's kind of depends on what happens after that. If he opens a
But
manhole to run out, that might be noticeable if anyone's like in the vicinity. If there's an explosion in the sewers, you are shutting down most of East LA's sewer systems because that is a pretty big emergency and people start working on it. Same would go if you. I mean, I should have you like roll intelligence for this, but if you try to clog the sewers with, way of earth, that might also cause problems that, would warrant looking out for maintenance workers going down into the sewers to see what's happening and then facing a gigantic wall of rock.
Silence of the blood and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, a giant rock is not as bad as a wolf. Giant wolf.
I guess somebody's gonna have to dominate some people.
Well, we'll still have to fuck with Victoria, given the fact, like, how much she's shit down there. Right. Anyone? Do you have any more suggestions? Or should I call Victoria?
I still believe we should also involve Victoria.
Well, I will be calling her, obviously. I'm just asking whether any of you have currently any more ideas that we could plan out. Remember, there's also another thing. We call Victoria, and that means we will have one chance to kill it before Salmahara gets to it. So, especially if we get Victoria to help with stuff, they will most likely become aware of what we're doing. So ideally, of course, it's that we do what we must, and afterwards, we just let Victoria know so that later it gets cleaned up. Of course, that's a whole other problem of its own, politically, but that's for me and her to deal with. What I'm asking is whether there's any other suggestions that any of you have, anything we might have missed, not considered.
This isn't my wheelhouse.
Very
Not
well.
much of mine either.
Very well, then I shall call Victoria. And I'm gonna pick my phone and ring her.
Well, you call, it rings, and then you hear Victoria's voice. Yes, just a moment. Hello.
Is this an inconvenient moment?
Busy times.
There is a danger, a problem. And that problem has taken lair close to your domain, but there's other
Yes, I'm
factors
aware.
to it. Then, are you currently alone?
No, should I be?
You should. Preferably somewhere warded.
Well, give me a moment.
By the way, Jasper would have made some warded area for her.
Oh, don't you worry. She has her own stuff set up, regardless.
Yeah.
She says, "One moment," and you basically the call is muted, and about 20-30 seconds pass before it gets unmuted. Right.
I'm aware. I assume you're aware of the abomination that has made its lair in the sewers.
I was aware of the wolf beast.
It's
What
an
do you mean
abomination.
about abomination?
It has been embraced.
Surprising that that's even a possibility.
Even a clock that has stopped is right twice a day too. Either way, Mm, we have looked at the sewer plants, and there is a possibility for me, without stepping even in there, to block off the water and mess about enough with the infrastructure so that it has no choice but to move into an area where we want. Problem is, all of the things that I would be doing would be, how to say, quite destructive, because frankly, it will any sewer areas that has reflective a water surface, it can use to jump out of our reach. I can mitigate that, but obviously that's a lot of tunnels collapsing. That's a lot of rock formations,
That
and
would
I
not be
will
a
be
good
also...
idea right now. We have a pretty bad situation when it comes to Cain. Disappearances have been frequent, and police investigations are plentiful right now. Having a sewer collapsing will just get more people involved.
Well, the problem is, currently,
Can you fix the sewers after you block them?
Okay, not a
I...
confidential call-in.
Sorry, Gabriel, you're not allowed.
Auspex. I'm basically assuming everyone can listen to this.
It's just a pack. See, there's another problem with the beast, and that is, if you know who learn of it, they will recruit it.
That might be a problem.
What do you mean?
Like I said, a lot of disappearances, police is involved. It's plenty of room for armed, trained personnel to have a look at it, if you follow.
Yes, well, I have recently quite decimated their personnel, and we will be dealing with it. What I would not like it to end up is for it to end up in Enoch as part of the things that will be fighting us.
What do you suggest, then?
Well, so the disappearances in the police. Disappearances in the police, that could be something that we could potentially deal with. Make some red herring for them. Have them catch some human trafficking, supposedly. Nonetheless, it is, from what I've been observing the creature, there's also another possibility for us. Mind you, that could have other side effects. But that beast used to belong to the pack in Griffith Park. They have tried to kill it before, but they're not aware that it has survived. And as far as I've been made aware of, for them, this creature would be a blasphemy upon itself.
More good news, I see.
So it is impossible for us to ensure that it goes out. I wouldn't I can't say that even the quickest of us would be able to lure it out as a rabbit, so to say.
Iris,
Because
let me put it very simply, because time is of the essence. Right now, I'm dealing with a lot of Sabbat members who are not entirely pleased that their pack mates have been ambushed on a regular basis. My
I
troops
assume
are
that was a
reducing in
beast.
number, and so are the local kine. It's getting to a point where we might have to leave this domain. So, if you're going to deal with it, deal with it. I have way too much on my plate right now, keeping people from killing each other.
Well, what I'm saying, I can deal with it, but, when gas leaks do explode in the sewers.
They do? Your point. If that's how you want to deal with it, go ahead.
Fire.
Go
That's
on.
what I'm planning.
Just make sure that if you're gonna do it quick. And don't give me more dirt to sweep
Very
under
well.
the rug.
Very well. All right, I will try and keep it. It was on the edge of your domain, the lair. So I will direct it away.
That explains it. I don't know why your paladin didn't mention that detail. So you know its location.
What? I have observed it hunt by jumping from the Umbra into this realm in a specific area. It is on the edge of your domain.
So it's hunting grounds, not its lair, not its haven.
I have not seen its haven, despite my sight. Although I have seen it now a few times, so perhaps I would be able to see whether it has a lair in the physical world. Chances are, though, that it might stay not in the Skinlands.
Wonderful. Well, if you're going to deal with it, just inform me ahead of time. I don't want
I will.
Arturo to be impatient and get in the way of whatever you're about to do.
Yes, it's best. I will let you know as soon as we've decided the area, because nobody would want to be in the crossfire of my flames.
Not to mention Arturo is struggling with some problems right now.
I see. Very well then. I will keep you in the loop. May the odds be in your favor. And then Iris basically just like after if Victoria says goodbye as well, she then hangs up. Right then. So we do need to deal with it quickly. Now that I have seen it a few times, right? I'm gonna take out the map. Of LA. And I'm gonna basically try and scout its haven.
So, you did find an area where it spent a lot of time in the past, covered in ashes and bones, if you recall.
Yeah.
Your pack did find this. and that would be right at that border of Victoria's domain. The hunting areas where you've seen it, they sort of are a bit all over the place, but they've been more prevalent near where this quote-unquote haven is. That said, have you... Well, we'll say that you haven't, because otherwise the scene might play a bit different. You basically have seen the quote-unquote haven, we'll say like 1 or 2 times at the beginning of the week when you were first scouting. You haven't checked there in a while. There have been a few nights where you haven't checked it, basically.
Well, what would be the most... I guess psychic projection would be the easiest.
Potentially.
Or...
Unless it's actual infernalist werewolf.
I mean, you guys haven't checked if Caroline's still around.
First I'm actually going to, like, divine its location.
I joke, but Abel, don't worry. You probably would know Caroline's still fine.
I'm gonna first
Probably
divine
would
its
know.
location.
Okay, so you're gonna try and divine
1,
where
2,
it
3,
is.
4, 5, 6. 5 successes.
Okay. So it will take you a bit, but you eventually narrow down the location to like this area here. You don't have like
Anything
perfect
again?
coordinate. You don't have perfect coordinates, but around that area.
I need to refresh my tab. 'cause-
It's between East LA domain and the disputed
Can you ping
territory.
again? Can you ping again? Okay. So I'm going to let I guess maybe like the easiest to do would be actually to go through with Olivia, with Wind, and use the Way of Spirit. But the others, what they should do right now is so if it's that area, I'm going to review the map that was shared. And the location there, and basically, how many manholes would be there?
Quite a few. Like quite a few.
Quite a few.
The only caveat is that this lair the creature has, the lair itself is in this. So sewers basically have a few sections that are not like strictly just tunnels, and they serve different purposes.
Yeah.
This one is basically a large chamber with a large like pool of water in the center, and like catwalks that cross it. And it's usually like an area that in old designs of the sewers would be used for like filtration and stuff. This one is inoperable, so basically it's a point where water still flows through it, but it no longer serves the purpose it once did.
So that is lair, right?
Yeah, and the area where, like, the lair is close to the area where you managed to narrow down its location, but you might be in one of the surrounding tunnels. In which case, if it's a tunnel, it's got, like, entrances close to it. If it's not a tunnel, probably has an entrance to it, but it won't have more than one. So it's a
How
specific
much water does the lair have?
tunnel. Quite a bit. It's essentially a large pool of water in the center that has a bunch of, like, connecting streams going into it.
Okay. So it would be possible, for example, to crack the ground and have the water go away.
Where is the water
that-
draining to?
Well, how much volume of the water?
The water table?
Yes.
Here's the thing. If you crack the ground, like if you split the ground, whatever space you open, that's where the water goes. It doesn't just, like, if you have that much water, it doesn't just, like, flow through the earth immediately and vanish out of existence. It's gonna, like, it's not gonna disappear for a very, very, very long time.
Well,
There's also the caveat that if you crack the earth and the crack is big enough to drain all the water into that hole you just created, you just have a
Is
different...
big enough to escape through.
Yeah, you just have a different puddle of water now. It's just at the bottom of the previous puddle.
well, nothing stops me from asking like an earth spirit to make like a hollow, like a hollow thing below, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then just have a narrow, like like a sinkhole.
And you can drain the water and then cover it up. That you can absolutely do.
So your idea is basically make 10 kilometers deep a hole about yay fucking wide.
No, not like that.
It's like that tunnel.
More like
in Russia.
imagine like underneath that room, right? Lower, like a bit lower, there's like a little cave, right? However much volume water there is, right?
Yeah, essentially, like getting essentially a quote unquote tunnel that siphons the water from this chamber to another compartment that's not big enough for the creature to go through.
Yes.
Which is fine.
And that and so that it's not close enough to that area, the cavity, so that it doesn't collapse into that thing.
Yeah, obviously. The problem then would be that... Let's imagine that you seal all the entrances to that area, so there's no water coming in. You drain the entire chamber. If the creature sees you draining the chamber, it's not going to stay there. And you can't drain the chamber fast enough to stop it from going away before the chamber is fully drained, right? So it would be something that you can't do on the spot, is what I'm saying. It's too much water to do on the spot. You can plan ahead for it, but you can't just magic the water away from that area.
So do the opening ahead of time?
Well, obviously. So you still didn't tell me how much water is it?
Quite a bit. Just imagine, like... It's basically a chamber about the same, like, surface area as our house. Don't say it out loud, please. You ADHD goblin. It's basically surface area of our house.
The apartment building.
Yeah, not the building. The
Oh,
apartment.
our
The
flat.
apartment itself.
The apartment. It's basically that area, but it's an open chamber in a circular shape. And it would have like in the center there's like a basin that covers most of it. Has two like ways you can walk. Similar to the tunnels you see, with one on each side, but those basically split around, and then it has catwalks crossing it. So it would be a pretty like deep basin of.
And those bitches are like pretty deep.
Yeah.
Like between 5 and 10.
Yeah.
Which makes between a fuck ton and a big fuck ton of water.
I believe
Because
that's a
I don't
scientific
remember
term.
Yes, I don't remember the fucking area of your flat.
It's big.
Yes, it is a lot.
Yes.
What about lava?
What about lava?
You can make obsidian.
Like, do you wanna like evaporate the water?
Well, first of all,
How about this? How about this? We'll go on break.
Yeah.
We can discuss this during the break. When we come back, let's like have all the questions answered. Okay. Okay. So we'll take a 15-minute break, guys, and we'll be back very, very soon. See you soon.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Welcome back. We return to the pack as they continue to plan their approach to this problem.
Alright then, Olivia and I shall go up ahead, but before we go, I shall turn on our usual means of communication. That way, we'll be able to keep in touch with everyone. Alright?
Good.
Get the weapons. I'll go and confirm what's the status, and then we'll plan as situation works. Anyone else has some tricks up their sleeves that they're willing to use? Hint, hint, this is a point that you can, like, talk about those plans you had.
I can remove the blood from it quite effectively. Not close combat.
I can slow
Close
it
quarter
down.
combats.
Alright, well, we can't really have any gas canisters or stuff like that given the police investigation and whatnot. So I'll have to work with whatever gas lines there are. LA does have its share of earthquakes, and we can always use that as a cover. And I can trigger one. And gas can explode when there's earthquakes, so that's something I can use to direct it.
If it gets too close, I can do something with presence called paralyzing gaze. Hopefully it's not needed.
Well, too close, that would mean you would have to be inside. Either way, and if
Well-
you're actually close enough to it, that means I can't use my fire freely. That is the setback. If any of you are within its range, I can't use my fire as effectively or explode the gas pipes or anything else against it, because you would get caught in it.
We'd be above waiting for it in case, though.
Well, yes. But we really don't want it to get out. Either way, right now, all of this is wasteful talking. Let me get in and see what's going on.
All right. So, Iris, along with Olivia.
Well, first I'm gonna activate Babel on everyone,
Okay.
and then I would leave.
Mm-hmm. And as you and Olivia go through the air towards the point of interest, what is your approach?
Well, I'm going to. So I had the divination revealed that it was in the area of its lair, close to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So essentially, I would just basically approach an area, knowing that from wherever I am, I'll have like 1.5 kilometer radius, right, of full visibility. So essentially, I just approach the area somewhere, close enough, but far enough not to be in danger. And then I'd turn it on, the power. Way of Spirit.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And activate Perception Shift so that
All right.
It's quicker too.
You see a few things. Primarily, what immediately catches your attention as you become aware of this chamber, what we've dubbed the lair. The amount of ashes and bones on the floor has increased drastically, and the first thing that catches your eye, that now there are people there. All of them terrified and horribly mangled, to the point where they can't really move. You can tell they are most likely Cainites.
Mortals? Oh.
You can tell they're most likely Cainites, because with these injuries, a human would be dead. And they are not.
Huh.
And the other thing that catches your eye is... Actually, before I tell you what you see, you will still see the obvious, but I want to see if you spot a few specific details. Roll perception and investigation, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Does my wait? I haven't rolled yet. What are you talking about? By the way, does my Auspex apply?
For some reason, a roll just showed up. Oh, whatever. Your Auspex, as in the Auspex buffs for this roll? Yes.
Is it as a passive?
Yeah.
Is it just how much is it?
Well, are you using a specific sense? Because I think with this, you can only use... Oh, actually, no, because you're using Way of Spirit, aren't you?
Yeah, I have everything.
Yeah, so Way of Spirit, you can only get... I will allow it, but only the general buff, so it's a -2 difficulty.
Okay.
It's because you can't really enhance a specific sense with Way of Spirit. It's more of a, like a sixth sense, quote unquote. Okay. So you see the creature. Again, odd that it chooses to look like this all the time. You see this large humanoid wolf. All the people in this lair are horrified of it, but they don't seem to be screaming or reacting impulsively. They're more terrified that it might be their turn next. That sort of vibe, like they've resigned to this miserable situation, though they still don't want it to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And the creature paces along the catwalk, climbing one of the walls when it reaches it, and its eyes trace a cowering figure who, unlike all the others, is not injured whatsoever, simply cowering in the corner. This cowering figure is dressed in this black robe with simple clothes under it.
Mm-hmm.
And as you observe the situation, remind me, did we establish if you can hear what's going on?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
It's full.
So, as you watch this person cowering, you notice a few details. First, while this person talks, it seems like he's responding. You can't hear what's being inquired. The cowering figure seems to be responding to things. It seems to say, I don't know where he is. I don't know. But who are you talking about? I don't know. Please just let me go. This sort of dialogue, but you can't hear the other side of the conversation. And the other thing that you notice is that among the bones and ashes in this chamber, one fairly recent smudge of ashes in the corner catches your eye, as mixed into this pile of ashes are the bloody remains of another black cloak and shattered fragments of a bleached skull with some sort of... Hey, you got enough successes. An imprint, even though you only see fragments of the imprint, of an imprint of a black hand on it. And this person is just terrified in the corner.
And this person is also wearing a cloak, huh?
Yes. And the creature seems to be pacing, and the cowering individual seems to be responding to one side of the conversation without you hearing where the questioning side is. And eventually, as the wolf digs its claws into the wall to pace and sort of skulk near the cowering figure, the figure looks to the wolf, terrified, and starts basically putting its hands up in front, sort of in a protective gesture. He starts just saying, "No, no, 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 no." And the wolf leaps from the wall, or from the ceiling, lands on the man, and begins ripping him to fucking shreds.
So Iris quickly whispers, well, it seems that Talmahara has already tried recruiting him, but their two agents are... Well, the second one is now being killed.
Well, that's not good, but that's not really that bad either, I suppose.
Well, those vampires in that room with the wolf. What is it? Do I recognize any of them?
Not a single one.
Not a single one. Could I use telepathy on any of them?
I can allow it.
I mean, I can use like mental disciplines and stuff.
So you can roll for it.
Perception awareness.
And full disclosure, I'm not gonna account for if you can actually do it, because odds are you'd be able to push through their willpower pretty easily in their state. I'm using the roll to account for if they notice there's something there.
By the way, -1 difficulty.
All right. So you look to one of the figures. you end up picking this mangled torso of a woman who's very, very clearly almost catatonic in her expression, with bloody tears streaming down her face. And digging your way into her mind, you get plenty of surface thoughts, like her mind is sort of simultaneously numb and racing with possibilities of what might happen. But one big question seems to prevail and stain all of the other thoughts, which is, why did it have to happen to me?
Does her mind show any, memories of like some other people?
If you stay connected, if you keep your minds linked for long enough, eventually some things start to pop up that show you some people she knew. You don't recognize any of them, but they are clearly mortals. And eventually you see some memories or some flashes of how she perceived that memory of her drinking at a bar. And the next memory she thinks about is just this visceral attack from this creature. And when this memory comes up, you see her expression change. She just shuts her eyes, trying to push the memory away.
But no other vampires in her mind?
Not a single one.
Somebody, maybe try somebody else? I'm essentially trying to see if they're vampires from Sabbat or not.
Well, you don't see any other vampires there. So.
What? Didn't you say there were several people?
No, in her memories, I mean.
Well, could I maybe try somebody else?
Sure, of course.
Or no?
And I'll even use the same role. It's sort of a similar situation. There's no memories of vampires in their mind. It's memories of people, fears of what might happen, and them waking up here, embraced.
That's strange. Because this technically, like abominations can't embrace.
I'm fully aware of this. I mean, you wouldn't know this in character, but yeah.
Yeah. I meant like. Okay. Well, can't say if there's. I'm going to remember their faces. How many vampires are there in total?
You'd say. I mean, if you can count them, so.
Yeah.
About 7.
About
Depending
7.
on if one of them is alive or just catatonic. So 6
Okay.
or 7.
And they could be the victorious vampires, right? Well then. What does the creature seem to be doing
After
besides that?
after the
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
violent attack,
Yeah.
it seems to sort of huff for a moment, looking at the corpse slowly rotting into a pile of bones.
Mm-hmm.
And it basically clasps the side of its head and starts hitting it with the palm of his hand and growling. And the moment it starts doing this, the mangled vampires all begin to sort of panic. The creature then, still clutching its head, walks up to one of them, and with one huge hand, it grabs this vampire who now is screaming, bites into it, and drains it. And then just chucks the remains aside.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Well.
I'm assuming you're sharing all of this with your pack?
Yeah, I'm going to basically share this information and the location of its lair. What's above it?
So above it is sort of like a... It's a road with a couple of buildings near it. No buildings of interest to Cainite in the area.
Mm-hmm.
But the road is quite a busy one. So it's usually only vacant, like completely vacant, at, the early hours, like the very, very early hours before dawn.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, it still sees some traffic here and there.
Okay. So while from that lair, what's the travel like? Like with tunnels and whatnot.
So the lair has a few tunnels connected to it. Do you require the exact number, or?
Well, basically, so A, where are the gas lines running? B, are there any tunnels that lead, somewhere not where the road is, right? What's the water state there? Yeah, that for now.
So the water seems to be pretty... It's not 100% clear. It's very, very, it's noticeable that it's not clean water. It's flowing in pretty steadily, but not rushing in. But there's a steady stream that feeds water in. And there's obviously some way the water is going out because it's not overflowing in this chamber. That said, the water seems to be mostly static.
I would know where the water is going with my spirit side.
Sure. Basically at the bottom, there are basically drains for this water because it's meant to be like a filtration area. Just not active, so...
Okay, what about ways out of the lair?
Like I said, several tunnels going in and out. Every stream
And
of water going in is a tunnel you can take.
yeah, and are there any tunnels that lead to like I don't know, remote area? With no humans,
Plenty.
park, I don't know, anything.
Oh, to the exterior, you mean?
Yes.
You'd have to take one of the connecting tunnels,
Okay.
but you could eventually go there, yeah.
And into the lair.
Since you're still
What
watching,
yeah.
eventually the creature, after draining this Cainite, tossing the remains aside, the hand that clutches his head seems to let go. It looks around, seems to look at the remaining Cainites, and it just looks for a moment, and all of them simultaneously, basically, the entire time they were watching this creature, terrified, and all of them simultaneously just close their eyes and look away, almost as if commanded to. The shapeshifter basically does a noise sort of between a snarl and a sniff to the side, or like a huff, looks to the water, and then basically just allows himself to drift into it, and he vanishes.
Right. Now I'm going to like spread back because I have perception shift active. I'm gonna spread out.
You're going to?
Spread my perception.
It's a while before you even notice anything worthwhile, until it's almost like you catch it from the corner of your eye. Actually, you're using perception shift, right?
Perception shift, yes.
Okay. Perception empathy, please.
Discerning?
Yeah, sure.
Does discerning apply? And it's -2 difficulty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 successes.
So, crime is not exactly a rare thing in this area of the city, especially because of the Sabbat status. It's to be expected to some extent. But at some point, you sort of catch this situation, almost as if it was from the corner of your eye, of this girl that basically, she looks pretty drunk, walking down the street, texting on her phone, and from the shadows of an alley, as she passes by, this heavily scarred human hand reaches out, grabs her by the neck, and another hand covers her mouth, and she gets dragged into the alley. You see the figure who's dragging her. It's this incredibly tall and built man, who he has long hair and is not very well kept. And he basically drags her into basically an entrance to the sewer, drags her in, and you follow this horror show essentially, as she is dragged through the tunnels towards the lair. Do you continue watching? Because this takes a while.
Well, we have. I basically, in the meanwhile, I'll tell people that, well, we have figured out where the kine have been taken. Also, Miguel, did you know that abominations cannot embrace?
Yes.
Okay.
I
All
said
right.
it multiple times. I know that.
Okay. Well, we know who's guilty of the kine disappearances, also the wolf. Which would explain why those vampires only have memories of people stuff. But who's embracing them?
Probably one of the victims.
I suppose. Okay, so it's currently dragging her, right?
Mm-hmm.
How far are the others? Are they getting close?
The others...
Well, the other pack.
Oh, your pack mates.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're headed in that direction, at this point they'd be almost there. As in...
There's gonna be two snobby voices telling the precise ETA.
Okay.
one out of autism, the other one out of supernatural capabilities.
No. Both have temporis now.
Okay. So both out of autism is what you're telling me.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
So, yeah, basically at any point in the situation, your pack mates can just pitch in and say they're here. That's basically how close they are.
I wonder if I could do summoning on it.
Doesn't it work like you have to use presence first?
No, you can also do it without it. Anyway, I would basically tell you where to be closer to and keep you up. I'm gonna watch what it does with the girl.
Mm-hmm. So, as it approaches the lair, the woman is still trying to struggle. But at this point, you've seen, as he dragged her away, he crushed her phone to pieces. He basically made sure that very little evidence was left behind. And as he enters the lair with her, he throws her to the corner. And you see his face sort of shift into this expression of genuine rage. You see his body start to snap and contort to change into the large wolf you've seen before. And he rips the woman apart, allowing her to bleed to death. As she drifts away, he looks to one of the Cainites who seem to be incapacitated, grabs them, and with a slit of his claw, he opens up one of their necks and allows blood to pour into the dying woman's mouth.
Huh.
And then throws the incapacitated vampire away and simply watches this woman, who at this point has no arms or legs and barely has a functioning jaw.
See, so this
He
is
seems
what
to be
he's up to.
like watching her and expecting something. And as she opens her eyes, he basically pins her down, so she thrashes all she wants, but nothing really happens. And with one motion, he hits her, and she falls unconscious. At which point he tosses her near the others.
Okay. So essentially what he has going there is sort of like our Vol dispenser.
Sort of. You do notice him do something interesting afterwards, though.
Hmm.
As all of this macabre display ends, the wolf reaches down to the puddles of blood that were left on the floor. He dips 2 of his fingers into it, allowing the blood to basically soak into the fur, and walks up to one of the walls in this chamber, which you can tell has a bunch of markings in blood. You can't really tell what the markings are, but he then adds some more markings with the woman's blood on the wall.
Does he now? Hmm. Hmm. Well, does it look occult?
Into cult, please.
And -1 difficulty.
And I will reiterate, the pack can announce at any point that they are here and they are ready.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
You can tell that there's nothing occult about it. It matches nothing you're familiar with.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I guess he's keeping a tally. Right, so I think I've observed enough. Right, so this is what we have right now. He's grabbing people off the street using some fucking vampire inside to turn them. And I guess he's keeping his midnight snacks.
Smart
How
and
quaint.
organized.
Hmm?
Although that would explain all the disappearances that
Like I
she's been
said,
having to deal with.
we know where the people have been have gone to.
So we are still going with a plan of asking spirits to do stuff for us.
Well, any better ideas? You said you could drain its blood.
Yeah,
Do you need to
it's
be
gonna
next
be
to
a
it?
bit. Gonna be able to see it, preferably.
See it
Well,
or perceive it.
more like see it, because from what I understand, like Miguel correct me if I'm wrong, but like Arms of Abyss, like do not work. Like they do work in my range of vision.
Yeah.
It's gonna be my blood to.
There is an argument to be made that you have to be present at the scene, but I can allow, like, with your level of expertise, I can allow that to be like a suggestion rather than a rule.
Yeah. I can try to do it from a slight far, but yeah, can't really guarantee much.
You could, once you're here and within my range, you could perhaps use telepathy.
That I think you guys are scientific enough and experimental enough to know that if Jack uses telepathy to see through your eyes and you have that expanded awareness, since it's not his line of sight, it's your line of sight that he's reading, his powers wouldn't work that way. So you can't cast shadows in there that way. He would have to be the one seeing there.
Although, doesn't your isn't your what's it called? That thing that he has, not the astral projection, but the other one, Farsight. Isn't that actually something? Isn't Farsight actually, in a way, sort of like my spirit sight? As in,
if it comes, if the sight that's being enhanced is his, therefore the perception he's getting of the area around him comes from him, and not, him reading someone else's perception, then that would work.
Well, as in I was thinking that if he knows the location, he could do the far sight on it. And because far sight isn't like astral projection, it's like my way of spirit, he could still use some other power. Is that allowed?
So would Farsight allow him to cast the tentacles?
Yeah, as in...
Yeah.
Alright, then... here's how we're gonna do it. I shall summon the Mortar Elemental. I'll have my fire tricks ready. And... we could obviously try to lure it with summoning. Given what it's been eating and how it's been hunting, I doubt it's too low in generation. And that actually means that...
I can do that.
The summoning is not so much. Problem is you haven't seen it, even in passing. I have. I'm watching it, literally. So it would be easier for me to do. Also, another thing which I've just realized, given Bogdan's generation and what it has been eating, I doubt it's as low in generation as I am. Which, although we're not entirely sure who's embraced it, whether it was Bogdan or not, but chances are I could also physically maul it with vicissitude remotely.
Be right back.
So, because the lair that it has, literally the only thing I could do at this point is, well, either the lava, but that's going to be very suspicious for mortals later on, or collapse the roof. But collapsing is not as fast. Summoning it somewhere, we could succeed in it. In fact, it wouldn't really be able to say no. And that also means that we have a bit of more arms on deck. Do I see an area?
Can
which-
make plenty of arms.
Exactly. You said there's an area where it could go, where like we could get it to, right?
Yeah.
A remote. Okay. So I could use summoning to get it there.
Yeah, theoretically. Just remember, summoning brings it to you, so you have to be there.
I know. I suppose I know that I'd have to move there. So I'd let the pack know of the location. Let them know that they need to basically get battle ready. And I myself, I'm going to, still remaining in the air, right? I'm going to try and use summoning on it from the freaking air.
From the air.
Well, above the spot, right?
Okay.
So I'm still not going to be just on land, but I'm going to be there. It would have to basically go there.
That one gargoyle that has been diablerized in the background, and the abomination's like, fly.
Yeah, it still has to go to land.
I don't think it's a huge plot twist to say that that's not the case, but it would be fucking hilarious if, like, the abomination just went into the water and then Iris just turns to see fucking flying werewolf going caca.
First of all, I'm gonna have my obfuscate on. That's number one.
He'll still try to go to you, like to the spot you're at.
I know. That is fine.
So, you're above the area. You summon.
Yep.
Okay, roll
Once
for it.
everybody is in place. And it's difficulty 7 should be, and I'm gonna use a willpower point. Blessed. I have 0 successes. But it's not a botch.
Willpower you cannot fail.
Yeah, I haven't failed.
Yeah, the ones do not remove willpower success.
Mhm.
You get at least one.
Okay, I have 1 success.
I mean, I could argue, but okay. 1. So you see the creature after it makes these markings on the wall. It seems to look around. It looks to the woman. It incapacitated. And with one hand grabs her, then looks to one of the tunnels and starts walking in that direction.
Is it walking in my direction?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I let the guys know. Well, it's moving. It did grab the woman for whatever reason. By the way, let me know, is it walking somewhere along where the gas pipes are?
Roll a 1d10. Say evens.
9.
That's an odd number.
Quite an odd number.
So, make it clear, that's a no.
Okay. By the way, where its lair is there gas pipes there?
No.
Okay. As it's going to be basically we're luring it to a specific exit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what those are, to see which ones I could collapse, etc. Or the gas pipes. What are my options?
Well, so the area you're trying to lure the creature, basically it's a tunnel. It's not a very large tunnel, so it doesn't have a lot of space to dodge or anything. There is that manhole access to the park, but it would have to turn into a hominid form or human form to be able to fit through that tunnel, because a werewolf is too big to fit through that ladder tunnel. There aren't really any gas pipes along the way that you could use. Options you could do supernaturally, maybe collapse a tunnel, though that's not a surefire way of getting it to happen.
While it's moving,
try to, you know.
while it's moving, then I'm going to do the I'm gonna summon the elemental
All right.
while it's traveling.
So first, which elemental?
Water. I just wanted to basically be ready to just do the water. Blah, 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 blah.
Yep. Very descriptive.
Amazing.
Oh my
Yes!
god!
Yes! Yes! Any task.
Yeah.
Any task.
Holy shit!
I mean,
Dear fucking god!
how many elementals would you like?
I could ask. Hey, I could have
All of
two
them.
elementals: earth and water.
I'll allow it. With 410s, I'll allow it.
You just get to order a party bus of fucking elementals.
This is how you
As
cast Fireball in VtM.
Uh-huh.
As
This
the
is how you cast
elementals
fucking-
arrive, I essentially just gives them a brief overview of the sewers, telepathically.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell them that right now they should essentially conceal their presence, right? Because of that creature that's traveling, right? But once we have gotten the creature out here, the water elemental needs to essentially make sure that all the water inside of there is constantly rippling so that it cannot be used, while the earth elemental, if need be, would make sure that maybe a manhole gets basically a tunnel collapses in essentially.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, essentially, Earth Elemental is for now for us on backup, right? So that it could try and catch the wolf and so on. But if need be, I'll let it know that to collapse some tunnels.
Yeah.
But it's a water one should
Yeah. I'll leave them both at the ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the shapeshifter basically walks down another tunnel, and seeing the manhole access ahead, it stops and then looks at its hand and then lifts the unconscious woman. And something seems to change in his demeanor. He places her on the ground quite gently and then looks to his hands and covers his face, and you can hear him start sobbing.
Mm-hmm.
And it just stays there.
Is it moving towards me?
Well, if you wait long enough, eventually it continues. Like it doesn't stop sobbing, but eventually it takes its hands away from its face and allows itself to turn to a more human shape. And begins to stand back up and walk down the tunnel, letting the woman stay behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And perception, empathy, please.
Does body language apply?
Yes.
Discerning?
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 success. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 successes.
You see as he approaches as he gets closer and closer to the manhole cover, his hand seems to be following the wall. But it's not like he's doing it because he can't really see in the dark. From his body language, you can sort of tell. You can tell he's comfortable where he was, and the closer he gets to the manhole cover, the more uncomfortable and hesitant he's getting. He's, essentially the hand on the wall is this odd, self-comforting gesture. And as he approaches the ladder, placing one hand on it, you hear him whisper something. Would you care what it is enough to pay attention?
Of course.
Okay.
Everything. I could.
Fucking parabolic antennas to the guy. Essentially, you just hear him whisper something like, I don't know why I'm doing this. I just hope you're there, Master. And he starts climbing the ladder. Do you wait for him to show up at the surface?
So, what we're still all hidden in position. And I think the first thing that I would essentially make sure that happens in the area is, actually, that's probably something I could ask Olivia to do, so that I can have my own casting free. And that is Breeze of Lethargy.
Breath of Lethargy.
Because it will weaken it.
Okay.
So it's hoping to see its master? Did you say? Given who had him, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to... How much different from me Bogdan was?
Quite different.
Like, no, I meant like in height, stuff.
Your shape is currently Iris, as in Iris Classic, yeah?
Yeah.
He was quite a bit taller and bulkier.
Okay, then I suppose I could use Mask of 1,000 Faces, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'll use Mask of 1,000 Faces. Or actually, I quickly basically like whisper to like I'm still gonna keep my obfuscates. That's better and safer. I'm gonna whisper to Abel that he should create Bogdan's illusion. Chemistry.
Near the manhole or something, somewhere.
No, where I am.
I can't see the place where you are, right?
Yeah, we should have. Everybody should be there.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'll allow positioning to be planned ahead of time, so if you want to have, like, eyesight on Iris, you can.
Okay. I will
Well,
create...
eyesight is bold. Iris is obfuscated, but you know where she is.
Then, like, if she's obfuscated, Abel can't know where she is. That's kind of the point.
No,
If
Iris
he does,
can tell him. Iris tells him.
that would break obfuscate.
She can tell him where
No.
to make the illusion.
You can tell him where to make the illusion, and if you're specific enough, he can make it right on top of you. But if you're obfuscated, and then you tell him, I'm at this spot, he'll direct his attention to that spot and see you.
No,
The whole point of
I'll tell
obfuscate
him where-
is it
No, I'll tell
stops
him
people
where
from paying attention.
where to put the illusion.
Okay, yeah, that's different. That can be done.
I can do that.
Okay.
All right.
Any
Play
specifics on how you want to cast the illusion, Abel? Because he'd be in midair, so how do you want to approach that?
Not in midair. Oh, you mean Abel is in midair?
No, you are.
I'm
Well-
close to the surface.
Oh, so at
I
ground
probably
level
would.
then. Well, still, Abel, how would you cast the illusion?
I wouldn't place the illusion floating in midair anyway, so I would have it firmly with its feet on the ground.
Mm-hmm. All right. Usual attire you've seen Bogdan in, etc., etc.
Etc. Yes.
Okay. So you cast the illusion, and it's at this point that the manhole cover moves aside, and the man climbs out. As he looks around while climbing out, his eyes lock onto the illusion you've casted of Bogdan. And they open wide, and he just starts saying, No, you're dead. You're dead. He killed you. And the moment he says that, he starts trying to go back in the tunnel.
I'm going to basically summon a fucking fire thing there.
What, under him?
Actually no. Remember the Earth Elemental?
Mm-hmm.
Tunnel, go collapse. No tunnel.
No tunnel.
And Olivia should cast Breeze of Lethargy.
Mm-hmm. That's for the tunnel. Yep.
And while this is happening, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use Remote Vicissitude on him.
Remote vicissitude.
Will overform.
How?
Will overform. You can do anything as long as you perceive them, no matter the distance. So far sight, way of spirit.
Does it not have the requirement to interact with them first?
No touch. Nope. No. It's will overform. No touching needed. It's telekinetic vicissitude.
Okay then.
That's not your kneecap
Well,
anymore.
let's go. Fuck. Let's go one by one. So, first, the tunnel begins to collapse, and he basically just starts running as the tunnel starts caving in behind him and starts caving in front of him. And as he realizes he's trapped, he basically he goes into the corner, covers his head, and starts basically muttering and sort of curling into himself, basically saying, "Shadows help me, shadows help me, shadows help me, shadows help me." And then the tunnel collapses on top of him.
It should have collapsed to block him. We still need to do breeze
So
of
you just
lethargy.
want to block.
Yeah, as in like because
You said
when
tunnel
he
collapse. You didn't specify
no,
anything
no,
else.
I meant that that manhole thing.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to use it. Essentially, the Earth Elemental was meant to just like make sure that like that tunnel itself, like
Okay,
that opening, that
specifics,
manhole, like
please. Because
yeah,
I can't read your mind.
yeah.
Yeah, so it basically locks him in, but he's still sort of panicking and kind of locks himself.
And I
his own
assume
head.
Olivia casts a breeze of lethargy.
Yeah. I mean, it would be really, really difficult to maintain underground, but Olivia can do it.
I would probably also ask the Earth Elemental to sort of push him out of the underground.
There or there.
Push him out underground? What do you mean?
Push him out of the the idea was that the
push him
Earth
back up.
Elemental makes the manhole tunnel unusable, so he can't even go back underground. But if he did manage to get a bit underground, just like push
back.
the yeah.
Okay. Fucking specifics, please. Jesus. Okay, I understand what you mean now. All right. Yeah. Let's go with what happened already, and yeah, the Earth Elemental begins to, push him up, and he sort of not realizing what the hell is happening, feeling the ground moving under him. He basically starts to shape, not into this large beast you've seen before, but into a wolf.
I assume since Olivia would be just about ready to do the breeze of lethargy.
Quick moment. To go from human to wolf, he has to go through all the forms. He has to go through the spectrum.
Yeah, either way,
Already in it, motherfucker. Go on.
I'm going to what I'm going to do is so I suppose the quickest and easiest for me to be doing is to rip apart the tendons from like the limbs and stuff, right? So that they can be used. Or actually, why so difficult? There's the spine, and then there's the nervous system, correct? What was it that if you severe, you're paralyzed?
Well, depends how high on the spine you go.
Well,
like the higher you go, the more you paralyze.
Yeah, essentially
Okay,
that's the rule of thumb.
That's what I'm doing.
So you're gonna turn him into like a tetraplegic.
Well, that's the easiest. So
Okay.
let's see. That's 6. That's precise applies, right? So that's 8, 14, and plus my celerity. So that's 8, 7. 8, 6, 14, 19. Spending a willpower because it's telepathic stuff. And finish it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 8 successes.
Mm-hmm. There is a crack. Anything else before he, appears on the surface?
Nope.
Okay.
Now that I can see him.
Basically, as he begins, as the earth parts and he begins to show up on the surface, you basically see this wolf who is sort of laying on his side, not moving. Its eyes are darting around in a bit of a panic. And then it closes its eyes. Because only one of you has enough expertise on in this specific field to understand what the fuck is about to happen, Jack, actually, wit and alertness, please.
I was gonna ask if I could do something with the thing in my eyesight.
Hell is.
I mean,
Yeah, you can.
You can absolutely do something.
I would like to roll manipulation. Occult.
Yeah, manipulation occult 2.
To do a recurring contemplation.
I should remind myself what the hell that does.
A vampire with this power may trap a target's mind into reviewing a set of events over and over and uninterrupted, or until interrupted. This power is extremely subtle and ill-suited to combat, or things with rich sensory stimuli. However, I'm just trying to make it so that he doesn't change again to, like, slow him down for a minute so everybody else can act. You know what I mean? Manipulation occult.
Hold on. I need to check something. Recurring contemplation. That was the one, right?
Mm-hmm. Basically, make him
So
relive
most
the
recent
being.
experiences.
Yeah, like the coming up through the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing was harmful there.
Except he got his spine clicked.
Oh, that's true.
That's why I was checking, because if you could pick the moment, this would be fine. But he got his spine.
I want to pick the moment where he's like crying down there, like and going da, 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 da.
Yeah,
like that moment.
That would be perfect. The problem is he's already coming up and his spine is already cracked, and that's the most recent moment. You know what I mean?
Well, the most recent moment is him laying there and closing his eyes.
You both spoke at the
and
same
it does say that I can pick something, given that I have a way to draw the memory forth, or I know about the thing, but it still just happened, so it's still all fresh. So I just want to pick him like
I'll allow it.
curled up.
I'll allow it. Usually I wouldn't, but in this specific scenario, it's not like he can do much about it. So yeah.
What's my difficulty here? Difficulty equal to the victim's current willpower, not their.
So not much.
I mean, this guy has pretty high willpower. He's been diablerizing people constantly, and he's pretty fucking sure of himself.
Not permanent.
He hasn't used any willpower so far.
Well, I don't think
he's
Conjurer
afraid.
Effects would apply.
He's not unwillful.
Conjurer's Effects does not apply here, I don't think. Yeah. Place.
Do it. That's
good.
That's 2 successes.
Okay.
That's a couple rounds.
That's 10 minutes.
Yeah. He's
Damn.
basically gonna be locked like that for a while.
So
Uh,
he's curled up there for 10 minutes, not moving.
Yeah, basically, you just see the wolf staying there. What I was gonna say before, just so there are no unanswered questions here. Jack, what you would have noticed if Gabriel hadn't done this is that he was going to use. Oh, I'll tell you afterwards because this might actually come up, and I'll tell the audience afterwards. No metagaming yet. Go on.
I don't use my temporis a lot because, it can be sensed by people with temporis, but in this case, it was very necessary.
Oh, you're here, motherfucker. You're right here, I can see you.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, basically, you have the guy unable to move and constantly reliving a really bad memory. So, enjoy.
okay.
I'm
Okay,
a very bad person.
right, so he's stuck for now. Now, how do we kill it? Do you guys stand on all sides and empty your silver bullets while I summon a torrent of fire?
He shouldn't move for about 10 minutes.
Oh.
He's reliving a bad memory.
Well, that means we have 10 minutes to decide how to one-shot him.
Take the head off.
That is fair.
Good old Amaranth if you wanna try and go into the record books.
That
I
is...
should have rolled something.
Punch a
before, but I
hand
didn't.
through his heart with
What?
silver on? I'm a melee fighter.
Yes,
The
the
point.
head could be removed.
Abel?
Yes.
What say ye?
Silver bullets sound good.
Well, how about this? Empty the silver bullets while I chop the head off and summon a fire around it.
You sure the creature can be reasoned with?
Have you seen what it's been doing? It's bloodbound.
She doesn't know what he's doing.
Like Beckett said, they're very much insane. And either way, the Tal Mahara has already been. It has violated the silence of blood. It has violated the Masquerade. The Tal Mahara tried to recruit it already.
It has to die.
And in the few moments that it seems to show any lucidity, it hates its existence.
Do your silver
Oh.
bullets and your fire now.
Actually-
One moment.
Miguel's platinum.
Sorry for missing some of the messages. I was checking some rule stuff. Is it okay if I say this part out loud, Abel?
That's fine.
Okay. So, Abel, as you look at this frozen wolf, the voice speaks almost as if whispering in your ear. He's lost. He doesn't know what he is. His regret It's too many to count, but with his muddled mind, he only wishes he had gone with it. The thing that killed his oppressor.
Won't make much difference now, I think.
Oh, really? I mean, depends, but it could, but it depends. Not with the current course of action.
Right then. So, by the way, that power of yours, what are the conditions of it stopping?
I believe Iris is addressing Gabriel.
Yes.
Say it one more time.
What's gonna stop the time loop?
If anyone touches him,
Hmm.
or any loud, surprising things. We have probably 5. I will probably name off an exact amount of time. Something like 9 or
Well-
8 minutes and something like that.
Okay, well then, which means we have to make the attack count. I suppose, I could cut the head off with celerity.
I suppose I can hold it down with tentacles.
You're gonna have to grab it when I attack it. The
Sure.
rest of you
I can
empty.
grab it too.
The rest of you empty. No. He can grab it with the tentacles. The rest
As
of you
in,
have
not
silver bullets.
myself.
You have silver bullets, so
I don't use
yours.
guns.
There you go. Merc.
Either way. So what I'm gonna do is so I suppose I could activate feral weapons, since I don't really have like a, I didn't bring the sword, right?
Mhm.
I could activate feral weapons.
To be 100% clear, feral weapons, you can attack it and kill it if you deal enough damage. But feral weapons won't allow you to, like, straight up decapitate the guy like a Viltrumite. You'd have to, like, dig your hands in his neck and then pull shit apart. Which
What I
might
was
take a bit
thinking-
longer.
But
Hey, I
first-
can help with
may,
that.
may I finish? Thank you. So first of all, what I was thinking is that I'd use celerity for that action, right?
Mm-hmm.
Second, I already have buffed my physical stats, and third, you have to remember I do have potence.
Yeah. I'm just
I would be
saying, you
using all of
can't,
that.
like, head off. You'll have to, like, deal raw damage to it.
I'm aware, but
I'm not saying it can't
already-
work, I'm just making that clear. It's fine, we're on the same page. Proceed.
All right, so I'm going to use this as a celerity.
Mm-hmm.
so that it's quicker. Potence. How do I use it again?
Potence, you can either add it as a flat value to your strength. So, let's say you attack, you're rolling damage, that's your strength plus weapon damage. Well, when you roll for strength, you're rolling strength plus potence. If you choose to spend 1 blood point, you only roll strength, and whatever your potence score is flat successes added to the end result. So let's say that you have 5 strength and 4 potence. You either roll 9 dice, or you roll 5 dice, and the end result is 4 plus the successes.
Okay, we're going to do my the first Iris ever thing. Who's gonna win? A gangrel or a Malkavian with an axe and obfuscate? And since I have never dropped my obfuscate, I'm first gonna do the fucking ambush on him.
Alright, let me do some prep with the fucking tentacles.
You can do it, but I'm just telling Miguel that I'm gonna do my
What the fuck? It's 0.
my ambush roll, which is dexterity and
It's 0. Fuck you, Miguel.
stealth, correct?
Difficulty
Miguel?
7.
Ah, okay.
Miguel, dexterity plus stealth, correct?
Why? He's on the fucking floor. It's not like you can miss.
Doesn't matter.
She wanna do the sneak attack.
I'm doing the sneak attack bonus damage, Miguel. I'm still obfuscated.
Okay, if you want, but if you're obfuscated, you couldn't have communicated this entire time with your group.
I can whisper, and if they're not near me, we have babble. Did you forget?
Alright, I'm gonna try again.
Right. This is my ambush, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Let's
8,
fucking
9,
go.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 dice.
Bruh.
Jesus Christ.
I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 tentacles.
Okay, so
Right.
quick question. Jack, you're spawning because of the way this works, you have to spawn the tentacles and then perform an action to grab, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming what you're matching to Iris's attack is the grabbing motion, not the spawning of the tentacles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, she's gonna use all the celerity to just wind up the fucking power first.
15. If I got 15 successes on the ambush, 14 go? Or how much goes to?
The axe is gonna be, let me tell you.
Axes are +3.
Yeah,
No.
axes are...
What are you talking about, axes? I am asking about the ambush roll. 15 dice or 14 dice go over?
Well, for
all your successes against his perception.
Miguel.
Ambush rolls, basically, whatever... Ambush rolls, you basically get to add more dice to the hit roll.
I have 15 dice.
Right?
I have 15 dice,
So you rolled the 15 dice. One confirms the hit. Anything over is added to the damage.
This is my ambush roll.
Yes.
This is not my hit roll yet. How much from my ambush roll goes over to the hit roll?
So
I have 15 successes.
The successes are added to your hit roll.
Got it. Okay.
So you now roll to hit, and that result has if you succeed in that, when you
19.
roll for damage, you add this value.
Did our boy we're attacking botch on something?
Well, he botched on one thing.
Surviving.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Surviving.
9,
No,
10,
not that.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20,
I don't know why you're still fucking counting.
23.
Do we need to roll for...
Oh, will you guys be quiet for a second? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 18, plus 7, So I use a blood point for the potent, so that's 5 auto successes. 18 plus 7, 25.
Watch
plus
her roll
1.
all ones now.
26 d10. Shut up!
Oh, come on, it's a joke.
Hey, let's say. 1,
Do not
2,
bring that energy
3,
into
4,
this roll,
5,
sir.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 8 successes on this damage, plus 5 auto, so that's 13. Add.
And Maxi can block his 5, so... yeah, okay. So, let me... I know he's gonna die, I just want to check something.
Ones don't take away from damage rolls, don't
No,
right?
they don't. They don't. And
Oh,
10s
then
don't
it-
count as 2 damage.
Oh, ones don't take away?
Yeah,
Okay,
when
so
it comes
then
to
that-
damage or soak rolls, 10s don't count
Okay.
as 2, and 1s don't count as...
12
That's-
successes on the
Okay, so
second
then
roll.
that's 12 plus 5, 17. Add.
Yep.
Bruh.
He is going to die, but I'm just checking something else first.
Oh, I'm totally watching
Got
this
it.
shit.
Alright, so, because he botched something before. So Iris, you dig the claws into this thing's neck, and pulling your arms apart, the head goes flying to the side, and his body goes to the other. You see sort of this smoke, maybe steam, emerging from his body as his form reverts back to a human's before beginning to slowly rot. As it rots, Jack, you notice that the tentacles you summoned, without your say-so, lash out towards the corpse and begin ripping it to fucking shreds. And whatever's left gets dragged into the shadows and vanishes. And you did not urge it to do this.
Mm.
Even the head?
Yes.
Nice. I
Perfect.
look at Jack and I give him a couple nods. Very efficient. I say approvingly.
Iris dispels the claws, lets out a long sigh, then picks up her phone and calls Victoria.
Phone rings. You hear a click, and a frustrated Victoria speaks from the other side. What now?
We've dealt with it, and I found your missing Kain. Well, ex-Kain. The beast has been using some captured to embrace the Kain it grabbed off the streets. There's still, I guess,
lick?
about... I'll just describe how the guy
Yeah.
looked.
That doesn't ring a bell. Maybe it's some shovelhead.
Either way, is there a...
Are you sure he's dead?
7? Well, I've just stripped its head off, and then Jack destroyed the rest of the body. And it's turning to ashes.
And there was only one. You sure he didn't make more?
He wasn't even embracing the Kain. He was using someone else.
Okay. I'll send some troops down to clean up.
Right, so I'm gonna basically tell her the locations of. There's an embraced woman here. She's the one most likely to be found. We can probably pick her up. She was, I guess, embraced tonight by his hostage, and there are 7 more in that old filtered facility. And from what I've seen in their minds, at least a lot of them have been embraced by that hostage.
Keep it under wraps. Dispose of them quietly, or at least dispose of the woman since you're close. I'll send some troops to clear out the.
Also another thing. You know who have already been there. He's just killed their messengers.
Okay. I'll make sure the cleanup crews don't see anything they don't have to.
I can remain in the area to provide
I'll handle it.
surveillance.
I'll handle it.
Very well.
You need to go
We'll pick
back.
up the woman.
All right.
Okay. First, I'm actually going to tell the elementals that they can go, right?
You are left
Second,
with a missing part of the sewers that has been pushed to the surface.
Actually, first, before the Earth Elemental leaves, I'm just gonna ask it to basically just like pull it back in so it looks like a cave-in or something, you know?
It's not gonna do a great job of like restoring anything, but if you're just asking for a cave-in, it can totally do it like a convincing cave-in.
Yeah, that's what I need here.
Okay.
As for that mangled woman, I suppose I'd basically tell Olivia where she is. She's the quickest. She can take care of that. As for the rest of us, we should make our way out of it, as per Victoria's request. Good job, everyone, tonight. This could have gone wrong so many ways, and yet we're all in one piece. And the Talmahara don't have a new soldier in the ranks.
I'm glad that both of those problems were dealt with. I think to myself.
Before, because the other guys are gonna be leaving on a car, and Olivia's gonna go fetch the thing. Before I actually leave from here, I'm just gonna cast here, my surveillance spell. The Eyes of the Earth. Just to basically observe the area for a while.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't need you to roll because you can just attempt it over and over. So.
And then I'll essentially head back.
Alright. Anyone else have anything they want to do before leaving the area?
If the guy had anything on him that's left behind, no.
Also, his corpse, whatever's like cleanup of the area.
There
obviously.
wasn't
There's
anything
not
left.
much left.
It got yoinked into the abyss.
Which is good. I just want to make sure there's no other cleanup and, be a reasonably responsible boy.
I can confirm that Gabriel is as much of a reasonable, responsible boy as Gabriel can be.
Especially with the
I hate
rebel
the fact
nature.
that you had it turn into a wolf right before I'm about to nuke it and so on, and I'm just like, no!
Yeah, me too.
There's a reason why it was turning into a wolf.
You manipulative bastard! I love it.
So, since you guys are done and you leave, the rest of your night seems fairly quiet when it comes to news from East LA, though you are very, very sure that Victoria's elbow grease has been thoroughly applied to make sure this didn't become a loud problem. You consider it sort of a success that you don't hear anything else for the rest of the night regarding this issue.
I didn't even explode any pipes.
Alright.
Good job. You didn't blow shit up. Good vampiring. And we'll call the session there. Thank you everybody for watching. Subscribe to Twitch and YouTube, like the video, etc, etc, etc. All at your bank, you know the deal. And we'll see you next week on the next episode of Beyond Armageddon.
Da da da.
Bye bye.